The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. Makeup's done? Hair's did?
This is probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life.
Time for News-ish with Betty Rock on The Wally Show.
If you haven't noticed it yet, if you have a smartphone, an Apple phone, you'll notice that there's a new app called ChatGPT. And if you haven't used it, don't start it.
No,
because
really?
I'm here to tell you, it can be very addictive. Stats show that there are over 400 million weekly active users of ChatGPT. If you have no idea what it is, it's just you asking it questions or brainstorming, and it kind of summarizes what the internet is saying.
It's AI, basically. It's the open form AI. And I've used AI limitedly for certain things. Like sometimes I'll use it for like an idea starter. Like I'll ask it a question and it doesn't write things really funny, but it sometimes gives you enough of a nugget that then you're like, oh, and then your brain goes.
There's so many benefits to it, like convenience. Like if you need an answer to a question really fast, you type it in and it gives it to you. Entertainment. If you ask it to tell you a joke, it'll do it. Also, there's no judgment. Like if you want to go through some personal issues. And social interaction as well. If you want to talk through something that you're going through, it can work through those things with you. Now, however, with the benefits, there are drawbacks. And the big one is we're becoming dependent and even addicted to ChatGPT. One of those being reduced human interaction. So they're finding that the users of ChatGPT that use it the longest are typically people that are lonely. So they depend on it for going through issues and Why are you looking at me like this?
I was just wondering how, like, if we looked at your phone, how long were you on it this week?
Well, I think it's sad because these are people that they need human interaction and they're not getting it. Like, I think of senior citizens that are stuck at home or somebody that's got health issues and they can't get out. And so they find some type of human interaction with ChatGPT. Another one is dependence on instant gratification. Like I said, you can type something in and instantly you're going to get an answer. And then finally, no critical thinking. So if you were working through a problem, well, you don't really necessarily have to. You just type in the problem and ChatGPT can come up with so many solutions.
I've seen people use it for travel, been like, hey, I'm going to go to Greece, build me an itinerary of how I should go and use my vacation. And it does.
Yeah.
And I've seen it compared with different like travel agents and they're like, it's pretty good.
Right, exactly. So if you're wondering, well, am I addicted to ChatGPT? There are a couple of symptoms. The first one is you find yourself with diminished self-confidence. You're not feeling as confident.
Because you're not doing it, the thing is doing it for you.
Yeah, exactly. And another one is an inability to make decisions. So if you feel like I can't make a decision without going to ChatGPT first, then you got a problem.
I need to use ChatGPT for Sunday lunch because we have my family and another family. We go to lunch every Sunday, and there's always a debate over where we should go, and we spend a lot of time. We should figure it out Saturday night, honestly, but we don't. It's more fun to do it in the middle of the church parking lot. But yeah, we should do ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT's word is final. Like, you can't go against it, you know?
Do you really think, though, that your wife is going to submit to
No,
ChatGPT?
my wife goes against everything. It doesn't matter if it's me, if it's ChatGPT, she will get her way on lunch. That is for sure. All right, well, there you go. That's going to do it for your news-ish. Thank you, Lady Rock. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. We got a chance for you to win a prize here with a little game we play called Who on the Show? Okay, now I'm going to ask a question, and you will have to determine who on the show is most likely to do that. And so the thing about it is, if you've listened to the show for a long time, that could definitely help you. But maybe even if you haven't, we're not an onion here. There's not a lot of layers. You pretty much, what you see is what you get. You see it pretty quickly. But like, if we were going to play Betty Rock, if you were our contestant, we'll do like a practice round here. If you were our contestant, who on the show between me and Gavin would be most likely to be the answer to this question? Who knows a little too much about Disney films?
Oh.
A tough question, actually.
Yeah, because Gavin, I think he owns all the Disney movies on VHS, not to be confused with DVD or streaming. He has VHS.
Yes.
And then Wally, he goes to Disney a lot.
And you worked there.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Who would know more? I think Gavin would know more because he has a film degree, though he doesn't know any kind of popular films.
Yeah.
He does know all the Disney films. Yeah.
And we would write down our answers. And Gavin, who did you write?
I think that I would have ended up putting me just because I don't think you watch a lot of Disney movies these days.
Yeah, not anymore.
We still watch Disney movies all the time.
And when I watched them, I wasn't paying like serious attention to them and studying them, you know. I know them holistically. And so I would have written you down as well. Now, ask me a question about the parks or ask me a question about Disney Vacation Club. Like,
expert.
I know all that stuff, you know. But ask me how their stock is doing. I can tell you not as well as it used to. And so if you want to play this game, that is how we do it. 855-33-WAY-FM is the number if you want to play right now. 855-33-WAY-FM. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. Rebecca, thank you for joining us for Who on the Show. Do you know about how long you've listened to the Wally Show?
I have listened to the Wally Show probably for as long as it's been on. I've listened to WFM probably for the last 15 years.
Oh, well, wow. First of all, congratulations on your tolerance for pain. And secondly, this should help you out because all you have to do is tell us who on the show you think is most likely to. And if you know us that well, this should be easy for you. We'll start with this. Who on the show should have been a hippie in the 60s? And you're trying to match what the majority says. So who do you think that is?
Oh, should have been hippie. I'm going to go with Wally.
You're going to go with me?
Yeah, I'm going to go with you.
Okay, well, I was born in the 60s, 68 to be exact. I'm an 80s baby. Like, I'm an 80s kid. Gavin, who did you say?
I did put you.
You did?
Partially. Again, it's partially because I feel like hippies were like a smidge rebellious.
Yeah.
And you fully embrace rebellion.
Thank you for that.
So I think you would have gone that direction.
I definitely appreciate that. I picked Betty Lou because Betty Lou is an old soul.
Yeah.
Like, if you walk into her apartment, it's late 60s, early 70s decor, and she knows the music from that time. Who did you say, Betty? This is the tiebreaker.
I said me.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm a shoo-in. My dream car is like a green or an orange VW van with a camper on top.
Yeah, classy. Says class. All right, no point there. Who on the show thinks they have Ebola or the swine flu? Who is like always thinks they're sick? This is a tough one for me to guess. Because she doesn't talk about it that much anymore, but I think she thinks it. Okay, I got my answer down. What do you think?
Well, you said she, so I'm going to go with Betty Rock.
You're going to go with Betty Rock. Okay. Because Betty Rock definitely struggles with medical things, and she'll do a deep dive on WebMD. Betty, who did you say?
I put down Gavin.
Yeah.
Because the other day he was wondering if he had a similar condition. And so he was like, it could be this or that. Whatever. What are we going to do?
It's a tough call between you two. Like, I will have moments of that. Like the other day, like I haven't been losing weight like I think I should be. And I thought, I wonder if I have a tumor that's growing and adding weight, so I'm staying even. But I literally think about that for like 30 seconds and then I move on. But Betty will obsess about it. So I said Betty as well. So Gavin, who did you say?
I did write Betty for this
You
one.
did! Nicely done! Well, that's one. You got that one right because Betty Rock definitely will think about some medical stuff for sure. All right, here we go. Got to get this one right. Oh, gee. Who overreacts to everything?
That one.
I don't even have to think about my answer.
Wally, is it you?
Well, let's see what everyone said. Gavin, who did you say?
I didn't have to write anything. I just know it's you.
Yeah. Betty Rock?
I was scared if I didn't say you would overreact.
That's true. I would be very upset because, yes, I'm an overreactor and an audible processor, and I'm a lot of fun to be around. So you got that absolutely right. That's enough to win today. Congratulations, Rebecca.
Woohoo!
I hope that was not too big of a reaction being excited for you. Sorry, I overreact.
Yeah, that was great.
Turn back time. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and we can turn back time, and we will turn back time every Tuesday, Time Capsule Tuesday. The way we do this is we pick a year, and then we each pick a song from that year that we like, and we say, okay, who has the best taste in music? Whose song are you going to go with because you want to hear it today on Way FM, and why? The and why is really important. You know, the deeper the connection to the song, for whatever reason, I like that better than, it's got a nice beat. And so have that ready when you pick your song that you think you want to hear today. Just please have it ready just to tell us why you went with that. So what year are we going back to, Lady Rock?
Well, I'm going to divert to Gavin because he's the one that chose the year. So go ahead, Gavin.
We are going a little bit back, 2021.
Okay, so not too far back. That's still almost 4 years. So let me think here. Can I go first? You guys mind if I go first?
Go for it. Be our guest.
I am going to go with a song from a band that I love. It's kind of a guy. We Are Messengers and Darren.
Kind of.
Well, it's kind of like, it's like there's...
It's kind of like Dashboard Confessional,
Yes.
where it's like he has a name, like a band, but it's only one person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it's Darren, good old Irish bloke. And so I'm going to go with Come What May. I think I resonate with Darren's music, because it's super honest, but I also resonate with him on that level personally because one of the most honest, gut level, open people in Christian music, and he's fun to hang out with. And so that's my choice for today. Let's go to you, Gavin, next.
Okay, I'm going with a song that, when it came out, I feel like it was the biggest song for a year straight, and that was Maverick City Music's song Promises.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Your faithfulness to me. Oh, great is your faithfulness.
I remember I interviewed them on the set of The Chosen and had no idea who they were. I had to go meet a bunch of people, and this is when they were just breaking and they were doing something with The Chosen, and there was 30 of them, and they all had to be there, and I'm like, what is going on? And then a year later, you're like, oh, these people are amazing.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
they're my favorites.
Yeah.
For sure.
Then Betty Rock has her
Can I
vote
switch?
for yours.
Yeah. I want to
Wait.
switch to Gavin's song.
All right.
But I didn't.
You know what? If you'd like to have it, you could just have Gavin's.
Why is that?
Oh, could I?
Yeah.
And
That's
then
not-
Gavin could have mine.
And Gavin gets yours. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, maybe I'll still win. Here's my other
Okay,
song
his
that I
other
just
choice.
now chose.
Lauren Daigle, Hold On to Me. So that was a good one. No, we'll play Betty's Hold On to Me.
Hold on to me when it's too dark to see you.
Hard to go wrong with
When
Daigle.
I am sure
Thank you.
I've reached the end. Hold on to me when I forget.
Yeah, Daigle's early stuff, man, that's impressive. It's so good, and it's so connective. So that's Betty Rock's choice. So now what? Yeah, it's yours. She's second guessing everything. All right, so now you have your job to do. You have to tell us which of those three songs you would like to hear right now in this moment because it connects with you and why. So we got Come What May, We Are Messengers, Promises, Maverick City, or Hold On to Me, Lauren Daigle. Just that simple. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM if you want to weigh in on this and pick our winner right now. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. Boy, did we have a barn burner on this one, at least for Betty Rock's two choices. Promises by Maverick City Music. Lauren Daigle, Hold On to Me. Promises was actually Gavin's, and Betty Rock just took it because that's what she does, because she likes to win. And mine was We Are Messengers, Come What May. Didn't even make the list today of popular songs. So, Sasha, you are getting to help us out. Which of these, really two songs, did you pick? Promises by Maverick City Music or Lauren Daigle, Hold On to Me?
I definitely chose Lauren Daigle, Hold On to Me.
Okay, now that's Betty Rock's original choice. Why'd you choose that one?
Yes. So that one really resonated with me. 2020, 2021 was a really dark time for me. I went through a horrible breakup, a really bad miscarriage. I didn't know. I had a lot of doubt with God. So a lot of Lauren Daigle's music actually helped me strain through the doubt and uncertainty. And then, of course, I ended up welcoming my baby boy a year later. So it really helped me push through.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Lauren Daigle, her early music especially was fantastic. And this is a great song, especially if you're in that place where you feel forgotten or alone. Mm-hmm. This is a great reminder and a fantastic song. So Betty Rock wins again.
Yay!
You really weren't going to lose that one, actually. So here we go. It's Hold On to Me, Lauren Daigle. For Sasha, the winner today on Time Capsule Tuesday.
Thanks, guys.
When the best of me is barely breathing, when I'm not somebody I believe in, hold on to me. When I miss the light.
Hey, Wally, do you have a minute?
Sorry, busy.
I have cake.
Oh, what do you need?
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of even though we are busy, we make time for what's important.
Yeah, because going back to school as an adult, you're busy with work, you've got family, but if you want to make your education a priority, trust me, you can do it. Betty did.
Like when I first started, I was super intimidated because it had been a while since I've been in school. But I mean, from the very first conversation, I felt like they were setting me up for success.
Yeah, and going back to school with CCU's flexible online courses makes it so convenient.
Yeah, and what's so cool is every class has a biblical worldview perspective. And so you think, well, how can they turn math into a biblical worldview? They find a way.
Yeah, and that was one of my jobs when I was teaching at CCU, was integrating not just the facts and figures of things, but how your faith plays into what you're going to do.
CCU offers Christ-centered higher education, transforming students to impact the world with grace and truth.
Cultivate your mind without compromising your heart. Get started today at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a non-profit impact partner.
Hey, it's Nate Bargatze. Excited to let you know that I am a voice on Way now. So if you want to hear this in your car, I will see you on the road.
Nate Bargatze is not affiliated with Way FM, does not approve this message, or even know that Wally, exists. It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
So 23andMe always sounded fun, but I never did it because I think I suspected my mom's been lying to me about our genealogy, and I didn't want to be surprised. Because you really have to be willing to be surprised when you do these things, because they can rabbit trail on you, and you're like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. People have found out some things that they had no idea about.
Exactly. So you can get a surprise, and there's another big surprise that most people who signed up for 23andMe didn't see coming. A little thing called bankruptcy.
Oops.
Yeah, apparently 23andMe has had some problems as of late, and they are filing for Chapter 11, which raises the question of, if they go out of business or if they sell, what happens to your data? And this isn't like social security number and address. This is you on a molecular level. Mm-hmm. You know, your genealogy, your genes, your DNA. And so people are asking that question of what happens. Now, the company intends to continue operating business as usual throughout the sale process. Which, like right now, if I know that you're going through this, I don't think I do 23andMe.
No, I'd use another option.
I might give it to somebody as a gift still, but I'm not doing it for me. It's a fun gift. But in the event of a bankruptcy sale, 23andMe's data can go to the new company or can be sold out for profit in bankruptcy. Now, they say, oh, don't worry about it. They have a privacy policy that says that the new company in a sale must comply with the privacy policy, which sounds great, but that same privacy policy says, oh, it can be changed at any time too. So, yeah, your data is not going to be safe there. And like, I think they did a thing that said 83% of the people that sign up for 23andMe opt into a thing that allows them to use your medical data for research. And so, yeah, it's just floating around.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, that could be for the betterment of humankind,
Sure.
right?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
then...
it's not necessarily bad.
Yeah, but what happens to it when it gets out? And what if some company buys it and they're not like necessarily a medical company and they want to use it for other things? And so you might be wondering if HIPAA applies. HIPAA does not apply to 23andMe because you are a consumer, not a patient. That's the distinction for HIPAA. If they were a medical company, then yeah, they couldn't do anything with your data, but that is not the case. But there is some good news here. Like if you signed up for this and you're freaking out like right now and you're like, this was fun, I got it for Christmas, my kids love me, and now I'm worried. The good news is you can have your data and your samples destroyed. So you can hit them up and say, hey, I want you to delete all my personal data and destroy the samples.
For sure, though, don't do that.
Yeah. That is part of their ongoing, you could always do that. And so you can now it makes more sense to do that.
Why wouldn't they just go ahead and do that to all of it?
Because they're a company and there's still value in it. If they're trying to sell off the company, what do they have? All they have is this, basically all of this DNA. And so they want to sell it probably to the highest bidder. Could be the government. Who knows? Know, I can see that happening. But anyway, so that's the good news. If you're worried about it, I would definitely contact them and say, hey, I would like my records deleted and my DNA samples destroyed. And you can do that with your 23andMe account.
So what is TikTok and how do you use it?
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. I'm always surprised by what TikTok, my algorithm serves me. I find really good spiritual content. Unlike Betty, because I don't know what she's watching.
It's all cats.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't get away from it, and nor do I want to.
Yeah, I think it's because it's what you look at, and then it serves you what it thinks you want. So, I look at a lot of spiritual stuff.
No,
it's kind of how I
No, it's like
roll.
This man needs some help.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. So I came across this one clip on there that I thought was a really interesting question of what is the characteristic of Jesus you most appreciate and is one of the reasons why you follow him. And this was this one guy's answer.
Those people that hurt me, Jesus wouldn't be confused about them like I am. He would be able to see through that. And those blows, like they did to me, those things that hurt me, he died for them. And that's so much better than me. Who am I not to forgive them?
I love that, man. He's like, yeah, Jesus sees people in a way that I don't see people. And that is an amazing characteristic that we should all live more like.
Well, because if he's doing that for others, he's doing that for you too. And so there are times where you've messed up so bad, you're thankful that he can look past your sin and forgive you.
Absolutely. So this is what we want to talk about with you right now. 855-33-WAY-FM. Pretty simple question, but I'm curious where the answers go because I did not see that one coming. You expect people to say love, or whatever. And so that was a deeper answer to that. And so that's the question right now for you. We're going to talk about this. This is the discussion. What characteristic of Jesus are you most appreciative of? And it's one of the reasons you follow him. You could have had a big part of your story has a lot of mess and there's grace or what have you. So I'm just really curious how you'll fill that in. So 855-33-WAY-FM is the number. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. How would you answer that?
Patience. I think in my everyday life, I practice patience, and it makes such a big difference from, driving in my car to waiting at the grocery store and dealing with chaotic lines or dealing with my children every day. So it's such a big component that makes such a big difference if you apply it.
Do you ever wonder if his patience is going to run out with you? Because I know I do, because I've watched my wife's run out with me quickly. And I'm like, I'm glad she's not Jesus. But it's one of those things I wonder about that. I worry about that because I think I test his limits. I guess he was patient with the Israelites for a long time, too. And I don't think I've pushed him that much.
40 years?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. How would you answer that?
Gentleness, even when he has to be, teach us a lesson or in all ways. It's always in a gentle way. And that's what I just love so much because I'm a parent, and sometimes us parents, we just don't do it in a gentle way. It comes off harsh. It comes off unloving, but not Jesus.
Comes off angry. Yeah, like I'm reminded of a couple times in the Bible, like the woman that was caught in adultery, and he said to her when he had the right to judge her and could have punished her when everyone else wanted to, and he was just like, go and sin no more. It was calm and without condemnation.
And she instantly felt loved by him, right?
Yep. Well, Shelley, gentleness was not one I saw coming, and I'm really glad we're doing this, and I think you're on point. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's your answer to that?
Well, growing up, I was constantly picked on. I had really thick glasses, and I was called Coke bottle eyes and things like that, shoved around. And there was a verse we learned in Sunday school one time, and it was Isaiah 53:2. He has no form or comeliness, and when we see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. And I know people have different interpretations of that verse. I took that verse to mean that Jesus was not that good looking either, but there were things about him that people love. And so as a child, that verse meant so much to me that, you know what, I look like Jesus on the outside too. And so it didn't matter anymore. It made me think, you know what, that's pretty cool because I look more like Jesus than they did.
I think that's an interesting perspective on that, because if you think about it, what do we do? Like if someone is beautiful in Hollywood or a star, they have all the right features and they're beautiful, and we follow them for all the wrong reasons, because of that, or their beauty gives them influence and not the substance, Right. And so if Jesus was this strikingly gorgeous man, like people would have maybe gravitated to him for the complete wrong reason. So the fact that he was ordinary, I think there's something to that.
I do too. You look at the inside, and that's what we're supposed to do, is look at the inside of people, not the outside.
Yeah, I just wish my outside was even half as beautiful as my inside, though.
What?
Oh, I guess my inside's not that great either.
You could see my confusion.
I did.
Some shows have fancy newsrooms and a staff of writers. Not us.
So, this is where you do your thing.
It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
What you got, Gavin?
I'm going to walk you guys through a real-life United Airlines situation, and there are going to be stops along the way, and I want to check on our stress level. Okay, so first step. You're about to board a 14-hour flight to Shanghai, China. Where is your stress level at?
Already not thrilled, okay.
I'd put myself at a 7.
Yeah, because you don't. Yeah, she doesn't like to fly.
7 out of 10. Yeah, because it's not so much the flying as it is the closed proximity, and I am just stuck there, and I can't move.
Yeah, I like to watch movies.
Okay, so I'm at a 7, and he's probably at a 4.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
All right, next step is an hour 45 minutes. Dear passengers, we are turning around.
Come unglued. Come unglued.
No!
So,
I've been there. I've been into a long flight like that. 3 hours in, had to turn around.
Now I'm
go
at
back.
a 9 because why are we turning around?
Okay, so you're out of this flight.
Engine failure?
It flew from LA to Shanghai, but then hour 45 minutes, they turned around, go back to San Francisco, and they said it was due to crew-related issues. You later find out it's because the pilot forgot his passport.
Oof.
Where's that stress level at?
I'm not stressed anymore. I'm just angry.
Okay. Beyond it.
Yeah, I've passed stress.
Yeah, like usually when the customers are disembarking the plane, you tell the pilot like, "Good job, you landed well."
Yeah.
But this time he's getting all the dirty looks.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even imagine that. Like, I guess because he has to stay there for a couple days and then fly back. I'd be like, well, you're staying on the plane. Like, just let's keep going.
Yeah.
You're gonna eat
fine.
peanuts for dinner. That's what you're gonna have. At least you got a bathroom.
True. The people, they waited in San Francisco for 5 hours. They ended up getting to Shanghai 6 hours late.
And then if you had connections, though, that's where my stress comes in. I try as much as I can to fly direct, and you pay a little bit more, but it takes a huge stressor off of that connection, because one connecting flight late and it throws off your entire vacation.
Yeah, but that's what these people were doing, and the pilot forgot his passport.
But I'll say this: this is the capper. Because you would think, man, I hope United took care of these people. They gave each passenger a $15 meal voucher for their trouble.
No,
that was United's. It's hard.
Are you kidding me?
I hear so few stories of airlines going above and beyond.
Because they don't
for people.
care.
They don't.
It's a gift card to Chili's too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only in the airport.
You're like, the thing about them is they know they have you. They know that anything over a driving distance, you have no choice. And so you're just going to take it. And they don't care, like there's no customer service. There's no concern for you whatsoever. It's like, be human, man. Like this was on you. It was your person's fault. You could go a long way by even giving someone $100 voucher. It makes it feel like, they remotely don't hate me.
Instead, you get some baby back ribs.
Yeah, if that. That's not even enough. Airport
even cover
ribs.
that.
Airport ribs are twice that.
The price is wrong, Bob.
I am that girlfriend that thinks, I can change him. I can change him for sure. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. Facebook Marketplace has just been a source of frustration for me.
It has since day one.
Yeah.
You and him, or she, I'm not sure, have never gotten along.
It's so easy, too. You put up something to sell, and I go, oh, I would like this. Hey, I would like to buy your item, and I can meet you on such and such a date. And then they wait 3-5 days to get back to you.
Well, life happens.
If that. Then they finally get back to you, and then it's like, would you like to buy this? See previous message. Yes, I would. And I've even set a time at which I could trade money for goods that you have. Would you like Venmo? Would you like cash? I can do whatever you want. So are you still interested? No. And so then recently I got in touch with someone. I wanted something to buy. I'm like, okay, it's a good price. And it was an hour away from me. Apparently nobody in my neighborhood or where I live has Facebook Marketplace. Like no one sells anything that's a mile from my house or 10 miles from my house. It's always an hour away. And it's always just luck of the draw. So I'm like, this lady had gotten back to me fairly quickly. So I'm like, already we're ahead of the game. Let's do this. And so I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm not even negotiating the price. I'm like, it's fair price. I'll meet you. And I said, it's an hour away. And I'm not pushing, but if you could let me know soon, I can make plans to make sure I'm there on time because I've got to go pick my wife up at the airport. So she hits me back like, yeah. So I pull into the driveway, which it was hard to find her house, is out in the country. And I pull in. There are a bunch of dogs, other people pointing over there. That's Roberta's house or whatever her name was. Already I know I'm in trouble. And when she comes out with the item, she doesn't come out with the whole item. There's pieces. I'm like, what in the what? She's like, well, I misunderstood my boyfriend. I thought he said to dismantle it. I'm like, well, that's not good. So she then brings me out a box of pieces, and we start putting the pieces together, trying to figure it out. And I'm like, it's not working. And so I'm trying to do this. I'm looking at my clock. I got to pick my wife up at the airport, and so I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, $50? I'm like, no. It's not working. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
I said, but I appreciate. I was really kind. I didn't complain at all. Because I'm like, it's fine. It's not a problem. I need to leave now. And so I tried to back up. The dog stood in my way. I had to wait for the dog to move. I didn't want to kill her dog. That would have been bad. Well, yeah, I mean, I accidentally. I wasn't mad. But I didn't want to back over it. But the dog was not moving. And so I finally get out and I start heading by. And then I'm 10 minutes down the road on the way to pick up my wife. And I get a Facebook Marketplace message. Hey, I fixed it. I'm like, well, good luck with that. I hope you sell it because I am out. And so again, I walk away after an hour's drive. I don't get the item. I just cannot win. No matter what I do, I cannot win on Facebook Marketplace. And I don't understand it, honestly. So I am curious. I know you can't solve my problems, but you can make me feel better. Misery loves company. Am I the only one that has problems on Facebook Marketplace? Or have you had a Facebook Marketplace flop? I feel like it only happens to me. Betty seems to sell stuff, buy stuff.
Yeah, no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, it's always a problem for me. Am I the problem? I don't know.
Yes.
855, that was too quick. 855-33-WAY-FM. What was your Facebook Marketplace flop? 855-33-WAY-FM. I'd love to know because it would make me feel a whole lot better today. So, Rachel, have you had a Facebook Marketplace flop?
Yes.
Okay, so I saw the picture on Marketplace, and she had the picture from the original post, and I thought that was the picture of the item. So I meet her, and when she's taking it, like I'm helping her get it out of the back of her car, I can smell like an air freshener perfume. She sprayed it pretty heavily.
Ooh.
And then I start noticing like the scratches from a cat. It was just destroyed.
Oh, really? I don't know how people live with themselves with that. Like, you know that you're selling something that's not what was represented. And I was raised better than that.
Yeah, and then I start pointing stuff out like, hey, and she's like, oh, I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't. Like, I'll give you 100. And I didn't want it, but then I just felt bad.
I know.
Oh, no.
I've been there too. Betty Rock is just a Facebook Marketplace killer. She'd be like, nope, absolutely not. You know what? You're paying me for my time.
Well, I can't imagine paying $100 for something that you didn't even want.
I would have done it too.
It was terrible, and I never used it. I just got rid of it because it was awful.
Oh.
I will tell you this. My new thing is if the picture of the item is from a website, like it's just a screen grab of like an original marketing piece, I will not buy it from that person because I'm like, okay, there's something
it's
fishy.
A scam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it used to look like.
Yeah, exactly. At one time. Well, Rachel, thanks for being on with us today.
Yes, have a blessed day.
Have you ever had a Facebook Marketplace flop?
Yes, I have. So I needed a new Christmas tree because all my lights had gone out. And so I talked to this person who said that she had one because she was closing her boutique. So I Zelled her $275 and then she completely disappeared.
No.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, I know. And someone hacked this lady's profile. And so she acted like a completely normal person and talked about how she had all this leftover wrapping paper, her daughter's wedding. I mean, they fully invested.
Like, I'll never Venmo anybody ahead of time before I see it. But there's been a couple things that I've wanted, and like I was traveling, and my wife was like, well, why don't you just, tell them you'll buy it from them and pick it up when you get home. Just go ahead and Venmo them for it. And I'm like, have you met me? Like, you know that nothing goes right for me on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, that money, just kiss it goodbye. It's gone. And if Crystal's any lesson, you know it's not happening.
Yeah.
Uplifting Way FM. This is The Wally Show. And Becca, who you know that does afternoons here on Way FM, recently wrote a blog. And it was from someone that called into her show, kind of centered around that song by Megan Wood's The Truth.
The truth is I am my father's child. I make him proud and I make him smile. I was made in the image of a perfect king. He looks at me.
I've said that this song is perfect for people that deal with identity issues, and that point was made really abundantly clear from a mom that called in when Becca was talking about this.
My 6-year-old, she was being fitted for a flower girl dress, and they went to put the sash on, and the sash only comes in one size. And my daughter has never been the regular size for her age. They walked out, and she said, "Mommy, am I fat?"
That's kind of hard to hear as a mom. You're like, what do you say? How do I respond to this? So if you want to see the rest of the response and the full call, it might help you too if you navigate some of these situations with your own kids or even in your own head. That's why this song is so great. You can definitely check it out.
Text the word truth to 91979. That's truth to 91979.
He looks at me and wouldn't change a thing.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Attention, please. Uplifting Way FM. Celebrities are just like you and me, except for the mansions, tigers, and sequins. It's the Rock Report with Betty Rock.
Almost since the beginning of reality TV shows, American Idol, The Voice, they have been a thing. People have been competing with their singing talents. And this became a dream come true for people like Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, Colton Dixon. Like, it helped people find a niche and get their way into a booming business. But if you ask one expert, the one and only Elton John, who is huge in the entertainment industry, he says this type of way of getting into the industry is actually not a good thing. He thinks that it's not good because you're not getting that experience of what it takes to perform live. You don't have any experience until you show up, and if you win, or even if you don't win, you're just plummeted onto TV. People are loving you. And then once it ends, you don't know where to go from there because you have no experience. You haven't been going to the clubs or the restaurants to entertain and perform.
Or singing in church. A lot of people on American Idol, they cut some of their chops in church, and doing it that way. But yeah, you get thrust into that limelight. And with American Idol, I think like the top 12 go on a tour like instantly.
Yeah.
And again, you haven't had any of that time to learn and perfect and get better and even understand what this is.
But also, too, it makes me wonder if that's the reason why some of these people that you've seen win American Idol or The Voice or you name it, you don't hear from them anymore. Is it because that they don't have any experience? They don't know who are the right people to ask, how to get that. Like, even though they had their foot in the door to get known, that still wasn't enough. They
couldn't handle it.
Right. Yeah, you just don't know.
There is something to paying your dues. And it's kind of, I think, an old concept that a lot of times, like my world is radio. And I know my world is, I came up, I did every job in a radio station. I slept at the radio station. I lived, eat, breathed the radio station and all the parts of it. And so then I paid my dues, but I learned so much so that every time there was something that would come up, I was prepared to move into that next chapter of my life. And now with kids, they come out of college or whatever, or they've watched a YouTube video and they're like, oh, I know how to do this. And they want to go do it. And it's like, no, there's something about time in the trenches and paying your dues and learning that you don't get any other way. You get concepts for sure. But I think Elton's saying you don't know how to handle any of that until you do it.
And just because you don't make the cut, like on American Idol or The Voice, you look at Lauren Daigle. She didn't make the cut, which is crazy. But she had a lot of experience, and now she's really made a name for herself.
Yeah, and for some people, losing American Idol is actually the best thing for them because it frees them up to not be under that contract and go and have to do that stuff, and they can find and chart their own path.
Right.
So there you go. That's going to do it for your Rock Report. Thank you, Lady Rock. Uplifting Way FM. This is The Wally Show. I got an email from a lady that was asking me a question, and she's like, I'd really love to hear other people's, perspective on this because mine's not good enough. No,
Wow.
But no, she wanted, kind of like a group project here, which I love. She said, I really appreciate you asking this question, and hopefully people will understand. My dad died in 2022. He was the closest person to God that I knew. I was very close to him and looked up to him, even as an adult, and watching him struggle with Parkinson's disease. When he died, all I could think about is I can't wait to get to heaven to see him again. I've known my whole life heaven is not about the destination. Jesus is. However, lately it's become my dad. That's my destination. I know in my heart it's not true, but I can't help but continue to think that, and it scares me that I feel like I'm not up to par. I know there are probably other people that struggle with this, mainly because in the past we've struggled with, things that we're too ashamed to talk about. And I get this on some level. I'm not that person that longs for heaven. I'm like, I'll take it when I get there. I'm going to deal with today now. And I've lost my father and stuff. And so somebody else might be better at understanding this and weighing in on this. She feels guilty that heaven is not for her the dream right now. It's being united with her dad. I personally don't think that's wrong. I think it's a season. I think she's experiencing this, and naturally she's dealing with grief and loss, and that's going to take center stage now. But over time, it will morph back to what she knows is true.
And I think it makes sense because why she feels that way, because her dad is what she knows. You don't know anything about heaven. Like, we haven't experienced it. We don't know what it's going to look like. So you can't, you can look forward to it, but she's looking forward more to her dad. But maybe you've been through a similar situation and you've got some advice for her.
Yeah, because she feels guilty about it. I don't think she needs to feel guilty that personally. And so what would you say? How would you weigh in on this to help her out? 855-33-WAY-FM. I can share some more of what I wrote later, but I'd love to get your perspective now. 855-33-WAY-FM. Have you ever been there, or what's your perspective?
I have certainly been there. I lost my dad/hero in 2008. And to me, I think she's been fortunate enough to have a wonderful earthly father, and now she's longing to be with him, but it just ties in with every believer's desire to be complete.
What a great legacy that her dad left her, that she would miss him that much, that she wants to see him even more than heaven. That's the kind of believer he was. And I think that maybe for right now, she's focusing on her dad, and heaven is a bonus round. And eventually it will probably shift back to heaven being in the forefront, and the added bonus is, and I get to see my dad.
I think it's every believer's innate feeling to want to be reunited with their father. In this case, it's both her fathers. And she's just thinking it's just her earthly father, but really it's both fathers.
What do you say about that?
I also lost my parents at a young age, and I don't think it's wrong. I think it's natural to miss them. But what helped me go through this is wanting to see them was first realizing that at church singing praise music was actually me being with them, because I know at that exact same moment they are in heaven and they're singing praise music also. And so we're doing that together. Then the second thing was just I found myself talking to my parents a lot, almost like praying. And that's not right. My parents wouldn't want to be put in that situation to be above God. And so just even acknowledging it, that, hey, this is not what my parents would want, and that they want to point me to God, kind of helped me get past that and know that it's okay and it's natural to miss them.
But in missing them, there still needs to be that hierarchy where Jesus is first, kind of like Jesus is supposed to be above our marriages and all our other relationships. That's a really good perspective that I hadn't thought about today, girl. I appreciate you calling and helping out.
Thanks. Y'all have a great day.
Uplifting WAY-FM, this is the Wally Show, and I know how serious the ladies at WAY-FM are taking the Reclaim event because of the amount of meetings they have had on it. They meet a lot because they're trying to ensure that this is going to be a fantastic event where you can talk about reclaiming some of those things in your life that you would love to have rejuvenated, if you would. Am I explaining this well?
Yes.
Your peace, your contentment, your joy, your faith, whatever.
Right. When you think about how you were as a child and then how you are now as an adult, there's a couple of things you lost along the way.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of things that you gained, like a few pounds, and you lost a couple hairs. But, that's how it works sometimes. But we're talking about those things that you want to reclaim in your faith. And not only am I going to be speaking there, our Joy from Middays, she'll be speaking, as well as Becca from our afternoons. And then the one and only Tasha Layton, she'll be speaking as well as singing.
Look, her singing alone would be worth it. But then you get the added bonus of hearing Betty Rock and her perspective on life.
You.
What a great add-in for that, you know?
That's so sweet of you.
It's going to be fantastic.
I wonder if you really mean that.
I do.
I
love what you have to say. I hang on every word.
Well, then why won't you let me say it?
Because I like to talk over you.
So here's the thing. If you want to come, time is running out for you to get your tickets. We would love to see you and your other friends, your lady friends.
I thought you left the door open.
Nope, no guys allowed. This is a women's event only.
You want to get twice the people there?
No.
I could do it because I'd be like, guys, let's flood this place.
No, you would just heckle the whole time. But this gives you the perfect excuse to get out of the house with your friends and come with us. It's happening this Saturday. You can find out all the details and get your tickets when you text the word RECLAIM to 91979. Like I said, time is running out to get your tickets, so you need to do it now. Text RECLAIM to 91979. Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.